Hey, welcome back to Points to Ponder. Did you know boundaries are simply blessings in disguise? Thank you for joining us again this week as we discuss the Sunday school lesson. Listen, our lesson this week is a family's example. A family's example. The lesson focus says, be faithful to God's ways even more than human traditions. And then the lesson scripture, Jeremiah 35 verses 5 through 11. Well, you know what we do here at Points to Ponder. I give you good discussion questions so you can have good discussion. Good question lead to good discussion, which builds a great community. We are all here to grow and to become all that God has called us to be. But the only way to do that is to really critically think through the scriptures so that we may grow and teach others. Where do our questions come from? Emotion in the text, decision in the text, which is going to be big this week, and responses also. All of them are big. Let me jump in with some lesson context. So you know the Sunday school lesson sometimes just jumps in the middle of the chapter. So we're in Jeremiah chapter 35. So Israel has been unfaithful. They've been unfaithful. They ain't been doing what they're supposed to do. Have not been doing what they're supposed to do. So God calls this family the Rechabites, and he just uses them as an example of what he expects the people to do. So Jeremiah sets up the scene, and we're going to go in where he brings them into the temple and offers them some wine. Let's jump right in so we can get our points to ponder. Listen what it says, Jeremiah 35 verses 5 through 7. Verse 5 says, then I set bowls full of wine and some cups before the Rechabites and said to them, drink some wine. Listen to verse 6. But they replied, we do not drink wine because our forefather Jehonadab, son of Rechab, gave us this command, neither you nor your descendants must ever drink wine. Point to ponder number one. I want you to take an analysis of your life first. Point to ponder number one. What are your boundaries? What are your standards? And why is it important for us to have them? Think about that. That's our first point to ponder. What are your boundaries? What are your standards? And why is it important for you to have them? Because what the Rechabites are showing people is that God has set up boundaries for us as well. And the Rechabites have shown their faithfulness to their boundary. They did not say it's wrong for us to drink wine. They didn't say that it's illegal for us. You know what they said? We don't do it because our forefather told us not to. What boundaries do you have in your life? Some stuff I'm just not going to do that. That's not for me to do. Point to ponder number one. What boundaries or standards do you have? Wow, that's big right there. Now, listen what it says. And I'm going to that same verse. It says, because our forefather Jehonadab gave us this command. Forefather means he dead, he gone. He not coming back. He out of there. He out of there. But guess what? They're still living by his word. Point to ponder number two. Point to ponder number two. Whose opinion do you live by? Whose opinion do you live by? What word that got locked in your head that you still live with? Was it something your grandmother taught you about how to make up your bed, how you cook your greens? Was it something that how you fix a car or how you do this? What professor stuck in your mind? Like, whose opinion do you live by? Because here's the thing. If you don't live by anybody's opinion, guess what? You're living within your own self, and every man is wise in his own eyes. So point upon the number. Who has the ability to speak in your life? Wow. Who has the ability to speak into your life? Or do you just do everything based on how you want to do it? Whew, that's a good one. That's a good one. Let me keep going. Listen what it says in verse 7. Wow. Also, you must never build houses. This is what Jehonadab, the forefather, said. Sow seeds or plant them. You must never have any of these things, but must always live in tents. Here's the part I want to get to. Then you will live a long time in the land where you are nomads. Listen, Jehonadab had a reason why he told them this is the things that we don't do. Point to ponder number 3. Why is it important that we communicate our values to other people? Why is it important for us to communicate? This is why I go to church. This is why I pray. This is why I read my Bible. And your answer should not be because God told me to. Give solid reason. Because this is where I get joy. This is what I do because I know my sinful nature. And if I don't stay close and if I don't go to church and I don't have that accountability, I don't know where I will be. Why is it important for us to give reasons for our witness? Woo! Why is it important for us to give reasons for our witness? It's not enough. I'm telling you right now, it's not enough just to give people rules. They need reasons. As a teacher, they need reasons. As a parent, they need reasons. Don't just give rules, give reasons, because people are more willing to obey. That's what we do here at Points to Ponder. Let's go forward. Ooh, man, this is a good lesson. Talking about the Rechabites. Listen what it says in verse 8. Oh, I love this. We have obeyed everything our forefather, Jehonadab, son of Rechab, commanded us. Neither we nor our wives nor our sons and daughters have ever drunk wine or built houses to live in or had vineyards, fields, or crops. Point to ponder number 4. Point to ponder number 4. Think about this. In what area of life do you make compromises all the time? Ooh, what areas of your life do you make compromises all the time? Listen to what they say. We've never done these things. We've never drunk wine. We've never built houses. We've never. Why? Because our forefather told us not to. Point to ponder number 4. What areas of life are you known to consistently make compromises? Oh, let me. Can I get in your business just a little bit? You know you're not supposed to talk about people, but when this person comes up, you always got something to say. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to be angry, but sin not. But when this, somebody, if they say this, I'm be ready to go off. I'm gone. What areas of your life do you constantly make compromise? And what do you need to change it? Gosh. Listen, verse 10. I love this term. We have lived in tents and have fully obeyed everything our forefather Jehonadab is dead. But listen what they said. But we have fully obeyed everything he said. Point to ponder number 5. And have this real discussion. If you can't have a real discussion, how truly devoted are you to God in his ways? Point to ponder number 5. How truly devoted are you to God in his ways? If he says don't do it, is that enough? Or does he have to bless you to get you to do right? How fully devoted are you to God and his ways? I want you to really think about that. Because they say, listen, he's gone. We've never done these things, and we've always fully obeyed. Is that true about your life? Whew. Let me get to this last verse. It says this in verse 11. But when Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, invaded this land, we came. Come, we must go to Jerusalem to escape the Babylonian Armenian armies. So we remained in Jerusalem. So point to ponder number 6. And this is a good question for new believers. How do you stay committed when you're surrounded by compromise? How do you stay committed when you're surrounded by compromise? See, they were fine when they were being nomads, but now they're living in the city where wine is right there. Houses are right there. But we still choose to live in tents. We still choose to not drink wine. How do you stay committed when you're surrounded by compromise? It is so easy to give in. Ain't nobody gonna know. Ain't no big deal. That's why we had grace. How do you stay committed when you're surrounded by compromise? Woo! I really hope one of these questions has been a blessing to you, because we want you to really think about it. Because the goal of this, even if you're teaching this or considering this, it's not always just to finish the lesson, but it is to transform lives. And if this video has been a blessing to you in any way, you know what I want you to do. I want you to like, I want you to subscribe, and I want you to come back next week as we discuss the Sunday school lesson. Bye.